Only a little over 3 years earlier, in October 1938, had scores of Americans been tossed into great panic by a Halloween radio broadcast based on an adaptation of the famous novel The War of the Worlds by H.G. Wells. The convincing narration and realistic performance of that work of science fiction by Orson Welles led thousands of horrified listeners into thinking a Martian invasion was underway, resulting in considerable mayhem.
We interrupt our program of dance music to bring you a special bulletin from the Intercontinental Radio News.
Ladies and gentlemen, I have a grave announcement to make. Incredible as it may seem, both the observations of science and the evidence of our eyes lead to the inescapable assumption that those strange beings who landed in the Jersey farmlands tonight are the vanguard of an invading army from the planet Mars.
I'm speaking from the roof of Broadcasting Building, New York City. The bells you hear are ringing to warn the people to evacuate the city as Martians approach.
Our board lit up when they announced that the Martians were coming across the George Washington Bridge. And that's when the excitement started.
Some people said, did I have a chance to see them? What were they like? What did they look like?
I figured them little peoples. I don't mean foot tall. Little peoples, green in color with a flowing hood.
Martian cylinders are falling all over the country. At least 40 people, including 6 state troopers, lie dead in a field east of the village of Grover's Mill.
They were crying and screaming and wanting to know if there was a lot of gas, if there was a lot of destruction, were there fires, is there a lot of shooting, are there bodies all around?
But people believed it. They really believed it that night. And I think of the ones who were begging us to get connections to their families, to their husbands, to mothers and fathers before the world came to an end, so they could just tell them they loved them.
This, despite 4 announcements that were made during the broadcast explaining it was a dramatized work. However, following outrage expressed in the media, 23-year-old Orson Welles apologized to the country in a hastily called press conference the very next morning.
Americans gathered around their radios were fooled, frightened, even panicked by what they heard.
Orson Welles had shaken the country without knowing it was possible.
A mythical invasion by monsters from the planet Mars should have had so profound an effect upon radio listeners.